Hey guys, Aaron Marco with Critical Response. I'm here again with my friend, attorney Todd LaNeve. How you doing, Todd?
Doing great.
Todd, I got a quick question for you. Todd is the Second Amendment attorney for West Virginia right now, and I say that, I know I'm laying kind of a big title on you that doesn't really exist, but he really is the knowledgeable guy, the go-to guy, and he is an attorney, and he does this for a living. And so my question, Todd, is really in regards to when we're convicted of a felony, we lose a lot of our rights, or maybe all of our constitutional rights, right?
Yeah.
And so I know there's some talk in the firearms community about the reinstatement of those rights. What are your thoughts on reinstating the Second Amendment rights of people that have been previously convicted, and what those types of crimes look like?
Sure. Well, I think it's a great question, Aaron, and it's I think a very important issue. Interestingly, West Virginia historically only had expungement available in very, very limited circumstances, and typically only if you had a charge dismissed, you could go to a circuit court and request to have the record of that case expunged. Judge doesn't have to do it, didn't then, still doesn't have to, it's discretionary. But only in that scenario, you got charged, you beat the case, and then you had a right to go ask to have it expunged or have your record cleared of any information that showed that you were subject to criminal charges. Then probably 4 years ago, it could even be longer the way time goes these days, but 4 or 5 years ago, the legislature passed a bill that allows for expungement of certain convictions. And that law has been adjusted a little bit several times since it first came into existence. But what that allows is that as long as you don't fall within a group of 10, 12 areas of crime that you cannot get off your record, anything else allows you to go to the court and demonstrate why the judge ought to consider granting an expungement of your record. If we can get an expungement for you, the state code specifies that your firearms rights will be restored. And so even if you have a felony in your past, let's say it's a felony drug conviction, we can pursue expungement. If the court ultimately grants that expungement, then you have restoration of your Second Amendment rights. And I think that's a critical thing. You have a lot of folks that get charged with nonviolent offenses who get lumped in with people that commit armed robbery. Oh, well, you're just as bad as they are. You can't ever have the Second Amendment rights again.
We so now you were the wheelman for this, and you ended up scooped up in the whole thing and lost your rights too.
Even in that scenario, unfortunately, you're probably not going to get your rights restored. You can't even pursue expungement if you're involved in what the way the statute words it, conspiracy to commit any of those prohibited acts, things that are not able to be expunged.
So you paid your debt to society. You got sent to prison for X amount of time, whatever it is, whatever they deemed reasonable for you as a punishment. You do that. You come out, and you do not get your rights reinstated.
Absolutely not.
Unless you pursue it, and then potentially there is a way to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. You come out, you're a convicted felon, and with that comes a loss of a number of constitutional rights.
Yeah.
One of which, and I think the most important of which, is Second Amendment rights.
Right.
So yeah, under the state's expungement laws, we can now help an awful lot of people, and have done so already, help people get their records cleared and get gun rights restored.
Well, we see this great disparity between at the federal level, marijuana is still illegal.
Yes.
But it is legal at many state levels.
Yep.
And so does that play a role in? Is this primarily where you're seeing these cases from?
Not just that. I mean, I've seen a number of things. Embezzlement cases, theft type cases.
Many non-violent types of
non-violent
felonies,
stuff. But yeah, marijuana. Honestly, I mean, any drug case is permitted to be expunged. Again, just because you can ask for it doesn't mean you're going to get it, and that's a key. You have to understand the jurisdiction, the judges that are going to be presiding over that case, but you have a right under the law to request expungement. So ultimately the judge can make the call and say, yeah, I'm convinced that you fit the model of why the legislature put this law in place. We're going to let you have your record cleared off and go forward and do what you need to do now.
Man, that's great information.
Yeah.